This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
And clean up. We say stupid things all of the time. It's a covenant clean up according to you. An unforgivable crime. Covenant clean up. Sponsored by nobody.
Oh my gosh. Above average at that.
Pretend this is Saturdays with Sauce. Why don't you lead?
What's happening, sports fans? It's Nordo, it's me. We're on until 2 o'clock.
Well, you don't have to pretend that I'm Nordo. Just pretend that it's Saturdays with Sauce. I'll still be Corey. That'll still be Zach. That'll still be Brett.
Okay.
But you're just Saturdays with Sauce.
AP Sports Guy is going to join us at 12:35.
Thor Nystrom on today?
Yep, he's on from 1 to 2.
Do you still play Return of the Mac?
Yeah, no, we can't anymore. We haven't had him on since...
Nobody listens to that podcast.
Nobody listens to that show.
Why are you done with John?
No, I'm not done with John.
Oh, you just don't play the song.
We've only done it like twice. Yeah, we can't play the song. Then Brett would have to take it out.
Yeah, Vox in the Box will be joining shortly, but clearly this is not Paul Allen. This is a dumber version. It's an extended version of the Power Trip Morning Show until they get all set up over there at Tria.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can still talk about babies and puppies and tickling.
But
yeah, I mean, Sauce tickled me just out of honor of being 9 to noon.
But currently,
I didn't like it.
PA is voiceless.
That's
currently.
True.
Well, Sauce, since, look, I'm not trying to get you triggered because this is normally the time that we both leave. It's 9:02.
Well, that's what I thought Abbott was calling me for when he called me.
Like, where are you going?
Well, that's the only time I'm be able to talk to you because you'll leave.
Well, yeah, it's time to leave.
Well, if I don't have anything to do, yeah, I'm out.
We got to get to Grandview.
Yeah.
We're going to Grandview. We got to get on the road.
Yeah. I got stuff to do before I go to Grandview.
The reporters asked LeBron James if he knows about his future, and he said, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. It's something I'm going to have to sit down with my family, my wife, and my support group and just kind of talk it through and see what happens. I don't know the answer to that right now, to be honest. So we'll see. LeBron, unsure if he's going to keep playing.
Whatever, man.
LeBron and Aaron Rodgers should do a podcast. No one likes attention more than the two of them. And that includes me. He is going to... This is going to be something that it's going to go into like July where they're going to be like, yeah, I don't know if LeBron's coming back, but guess what? We traded a second-round pick for Giannis. And now we have Giannis, and they're stupid.
LeBron seems like the last guy on the planet that would not want a victory tour.
Yes.
Right, like Marc-Andre Fleury's the nicest guy of all time, and his victory tour was epic.
He reluctantly, he did not want to share that.
But everybody loves Flower, and getting to say goodbye to all these cities and teams that he played for, it was awesome.
Oh, my God.
LeBron and his victory tour is going to be unbelievable.
Not one Timberwolves logo up there.
No, it's all
literally Lakers.
ESPN
headline, Hollywood horror.
Charchi posted about it an hour ago. They've done 30 minutes on the game. One of it is on the Wolves. And that's not a joke. This is all they've talked about. ESPN sucks.
It really does.
It is funny because you do watch it more than anyone I know.
Well, I don't watch. I only see this when I'm here at work. I don't turn it on till like 2. But if we weren't going to Grandview today, I would turn on and watch NBA Live because Kendrick Perkins loves the Wolves. I want to see what he has to say about it. but it's just going to be this. What went wrong? They ran into a better team.
Yeah. I just,
so dumb.
And again, we all knew it was going to happen. We all joked about it last night because we knew that this was going to happen, but it's still seeing it. Like, it's just so gross. It's like you're a sports TV station. You are the authority in that, and you just play to the most popular markets every single time. But whatever. Go Wolves. Good for them last night.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Anytime we can shut up a larger market.
Golden State Warriors and Houston Rockets square off tomorrow night, Game 6 of that series. So the Wolves kind of cheering for the Rockets to at least extend it. Either way, whatever matchup you want. Be nice if the Rockets win tomorrow night and force a Game 7. Give the Wolves a couple of extra days rest. It is crazy how quickly we've become used to the Wolves getting out of the first round, even though it's now just the first time it's ever happened in back-to-back years. But I'm just not surprised at all that we won. Once Game 1 happened, and you saw how how deficient and how short the Lakers bench was. It was like, man, if we lose this series, I'm going to be disappointed because we're the better team. And then you get blown out in the first quarter of Game 2. And you're like, God dang it, what happened to the team in the first game? Well, then quarters 2, 3, and 4 happen, and even though you lose Game 2, you outplayed them for most of the game. You just got shell-shocked by that first punch. Then Games 3, 4, and 5 go our way, and the Wolves are moving on in 5. So sure, that thing that's going viral, that all 11 writers for ESPN picked the Lakers in 5, 6, or 7 games. That's fine. The Wolves all season long, even last year, we're saying we like being that team that's under the radar, kind of like when the Nuggets were under the radar when they won the entire thing a handful of years ago. So I know you're pointing at Luka right now, Sauce, and they're showing the highlight of him getting hurt, throwing out his back there when Dante hit his shoulder. I'm so happy we're done watching Luka this year. I needed a break from Luka.
100%, yes.
Hard to watch.
Zach, your hands up.
How about TNT not showing any of those replays of all the calls that he was begging for last night? I mean, time after time where he would be complaining to the officials about one thing or the other, and even live it was ridiculous. But then they never showed what a fraud he was. And then they kept talking about what a heroic performance from him and LeBron coming off all their injuries and fighting through it all. And it's just like,
I thought Luka, even before he got hurt, looked like he was just going through the motions. Yes. He looked bored out of his mind.
The biggest complaint of his is he literally doesn't try on defense.
Zachary, even though the Wolves are moving on and we're all pumped about that, again, Vox in the Box will be taking over in a second. Yes. Game 6 tonight at the XL Energy Center, Minnesota Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights. ESPN is going to do an hour and a half on the Vegas Golden Knights here in a second, but until they do that, 2 heartbreakers, right? They've lost back-to-back games in overtime. Heartbreakers for 2 different reasons, right? And they lost those games in different ways. But what do the Wild need to do tonight to win Game 6?
I guess just build on this entire season of adversity and use that to their advantage. If there's any team that is prepared to come back from a 3-2 deficit and win the series, it's this Wild team. They have been forced against the wall all season with injury after injury after injury, and then even another injury after that. And they've all fought their way back, and they made the playoffs with 20 seconds to go in the season, and now they still given themselves an opportunity to do something special. They had a great start to the series, got a 2-1 series lead, and a couple of bounces. This series theoretically could be over. Unfortunately, Golden Knights came out ahead on both those overtime games, including Tuesdays, in which we all saw Ryan Hartman score what could have been the game-winning goal that ended up getting taken off the board because of a couple of inches of skating by Nyquist to negate that. So they are so close. I think it'll be a great game. I'd like to think that they will use that home ice advantage and force a Game 7, and then in the spirit of this time slot's host, you are on your own after that. But tonight, I think as long as Gus plays as well as he has played, even in those 2 periods on Tuesday in which he was sick and ended up having to come out of the game.
What kind of sickness are we talking about?
We don't know. I mean, I guess it's an upper body. I think it's an upper body sickness, I think is what they said. So they probably didn't actually say that, but you know what I mean. It's very secretive. But we heard earlier Hines saying that all signs pointing to Gus being back in goal for game number 6 tonight. And if he plays well, if Boldy keeps playing out of his mind. We've gotten phenomenal performances from Ryan Hartman, who has really stepped his game up here in the postseason. This is a team that can very much win. And the good news is too, if they don't tonight, or if they don't on Saturday, I just feel like this is truly the beginning of something special here with that club, because they've found something. They've found an identity here. And then you add $14 million of potential players to that roster this summer when that money finally comes off the books. And next thing you know, I think you could have a similar situation to what the Wolves have, where we finally see all these years of just coming up short, turning around, and maybe they can finally build something here in the Twin Cities. But man, it's been a great series overall. I mean, it's just stepping back and just looking at it as a whole. All of the games have been very entertaining, very fun to watch, and I would expect nothing different tonight. And fun to listen to, by the way. Joe, Tom, Kevin, we will be out there tonight in a very loud. And you guys have been to Target Center during the playoffs. The X is the same way. It is crazy how loud that place can get. It is so much fun. And I can't wait. Tonight's going to be fun.
Zachary and Brett, you guys are both wild guys. Where do you guys stand on the bully him or not to bully him question?
Oh, brilliant.
Brett, why don't you go first?
I'm pro Booyam. I think he adds an extra dimension to the power play. Zeev?
He loves the Zeev.
Zeeverson, as you used to say, Saucy. I like it. I like getting young guys chances. I thought it would have helped on that shorthanded goal that they gave up last game in Vegas, where you have 5 forwards out there and all of a sudden there's an odd man rush going the other way and no one defends it, or does successfully anyways. I get the defensive zone struggles, and I get that the overtime goal wasn't entirely Merrill's fault. In fact, he probably wasn't even, in the top 2 of whose fault it was. But still, it was that line that was out there that ended up giving up the overtime goal with some defensive zone mistakes, I'll say. So I like Zeev in there. I like giving young guys chances, so why not?
I could really go either way, and I know that's not a great answer to give on sports talk radio. We're gonna
have a take.
Yeah, but I'm glad I'm not Coach John Hines, where I have to make that decision, because you could make, I think, a very good case either way. I totally agree.
Why don't
with,
you just get paid a couple $1 million and flip a coin? It's a pretty good
That's
gig.
pretty much what it is. I don't know. I mean, I love Zeev, obviously, but you could tell that he was. You could tell that he's inexperienced, because he is. What an unbelievable place to make your debut than on the road in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But I think he is. That's another piece to this puzzle that I think, like I said, that why this team is already special, but could even be more special in the future, is as he develops. You put him, and you take into account Faber, who's just playing. A very, very good still, despite the fact that he has been absolutely worked to the bone this season. So I like Zeev, and I wouldn't be angry to see him out there, but I totally get the going with the more seasoned players, whether it's Merrill or anybody else. I'm interested on the forward side. If they ever decide to work in. I don't think we're going to see it at least this series, but I'm excited about guys like, Liam Ogren, moving forward as well. So they got a great future. But let's talk about the present right now. And that is, I think, a winning roster that they have out there. Foligno has been playing great too. He's gotten some criticism, but he is, the only physical presence on this roster right now, other than, I guess actually Trennan has been very good as well. And that's another play. We've seen some surprising great performances by Yakov Trennan, and So I'm excited.
The Minnesota Wild should have Rudy Gobert do Let's Play Hockey.
I would love to see it.
That'd be great.
That's a good idea, there, man.
Or a certain Vikings quarterback who loves hockey and was at the tourney and
Take a deep breath.
Calm down.
I mean, it's perfect, is it not?
All right, I got to go, Zeev Buyam.
Why do you have to go?
I got to take my muppy somewhere.
Where?
So wait a minute. Hawk had to leave. You have to leave because of your muppy?
Yes.
What do I do? I don't want to do more sports talk
Stay
radio.
handsome.
Thanks.
Well, leave. Zach can do it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
What?
Zach could do it. Zach could do it.
Well, you know what we could talk about? A very handsome boss that we have.
Who's looking through the window?
I think we should talk about how handsome Chad Abbott
All right. We'll go to break. We'll see if we can get PA connected as quickly as possible. Vox in the Box at some point between now and noon right here on The Fan.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Yeah.
Give a one-of-a-kind gift this Mother's Day with a spa experience at Woodhouse Spa. Check out our contest page for a chance to win a $100 gift card. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest center.
Welcome back 9 to noon. Corey Cove, Zach Halverson,
Man,
Brett
look at
Blakemore.
you.
What?
You're going into your 4th hour and you still have a voice.
I believe everybody, Zachary, should have a voice. You know, I remember the old Sludge-a-thon days doing 24 hours.
Yes.
And honestly, about 18 hours in, I'd be like, how do I keep this voice? Like the raspy 18 hours of talking voice. That's why like the Brian Oaks of the world are just lucky as hell, or like Tom Bernard, right? You're just born with that voice. Mm-hmm. I have to talk for 18 hours straight to get there, and nobody wants to hear that.
Did you ever try smoking?
I've had like 4 cigarettes in my life, and it was all when I was like 0.2 on New Year's, and then I would do Andrew Dice Clay kind of like over the just as the bit. It was annoying.
You probably look so cool.
The opposite.
Oh, really?
Which was the joke, right? So let's see how dumb I can look. But my mom smoked when I was growing up, and I hated it so much that never tried. Right? You know, the pendulum swings away from what your parents do, and that was the one. Like station wagon trips to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, or Chippewa Falls, and it would be cigarette smoke the whole way. Even if the window was cracked, it always came back to where the kids were sitting anyway. And I'm like, I'm just not going to be a cigarette smoker. So it worked.
My grandpa would smoke, and he had like the car, like with, I don't know even know what those were for back in the day, but like over the window, there was like that little like cover between and the top of, you know what I'm talking about? Like at the top of the window, on the top of the door, there's like little like shade thing.
Yeah.
So he'd stick the cigarette out there, but it would just blow right off of that right back into the back seat. And I'm like 7 or 8, just smoking that secondhand smoke. It's great.
It was the absolute best. Now, Sauce does claim it was the greatest accessory that's ever been invented, essentially, right? The cigarette? That's the way you look the coolest, is smoking cigarettes.
So cool. So cool.
Getting the hand signals from the old coach over there. It works. He's a coach. He knows what he's doing.
What are the hand signals?
It looked like he said something like 29 break, I think. I think those were
I wouldn't
9
want
fingers.
That play. I would audible. I would audible.
9 fingers. You know, the other thing, Zachary, that I don't know if you grew up in this era or not. Speaking of station wagons, my mom would throw my sister and I essentially in the back of the station wagon on those long road trips. We just grab a couple of coloring books or a Game Boy. 0 seat belts.
No.
Never, right? Grab a couple of blankets, grab a bag of Doritos, and 2 hours in the back of a station wagon. It was the freaking best.
Why was that a thing? Because, they had to have stories of kids just flying through windshields.
100%. There was deaths all over the place. But it was like, what are the chances? It's a little bit like the Jacob Butterlean thing. It was like no one thought kidnapping was a thing in Minnesota until that happened. Then every parent freaked out about it.
And the irony here is your kid is far more likely to fly through a windshield
a billion
than to get
times
kidnapped.
More likely.
But they battened down the hatches after that, and parents were like, no, you can't even look at a stranger anymore.
No. It's like, what are the chances my kid's going to fly through the windshield? He can sit in the back and have Doritos. And I did all the time. That's what I did.
Doritos.
Man.
So good.
A day or two ago, we did that story in the morning show that it was like ultra-processed foods. Every bite is going to slowly kill you. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's 95% of my diet.
Yeah.
How am I still breathing?
It's a miracle, man.
Maybe avoiding cigarettes.
You're what, now 40-something in a week?
45, yeah.
Good for you. What a run.
I know. By the way, if you're tuning in and going, what happened to Sauce?
Yeah, I suppose we should explain.
Sauce meat sauced it. He's like, that's enough. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how come Zach and I have to stick around and you? I'm done. I got to go. We all have to go. You're busy as hell. You have the Wild game tonight.
Yes.
I'm driving to Grandview.
I'm driving to Grandview after the Wild game.
After the Wild game. We're all busy. I got to go. Why? Sauce being Sauce.
I'm kind of looking forward to the long drive at night. I'm going to stop in Clearwater.
Get a bag of Doritos and drive without a seatbelt.
Ooh. That
in
would
the
be
back
fun.
seat.
Well, that would be tough. I got cruise control, though.
There you go.
Man. It's,
we need to win, Zachary.
Yeah,
we need to win. This is so stupid and cliche. I don't even care if we lose Game 7. Let's just win Game 6. Game 7 in the NHL is the best.
That's going to be a long drive if they don't win tonight. They need to win. Because I need to be sitting there on the steering wheel with a smile on my face, listening to Shinedown.
My guess is you're going to listen to Shinedown with a frown on your face if they lose.
No, I won't listen to anything then. I'll just...
Oh, you can't raw dog it for 2 hours.
I will have a mostly silent drive if they
Are you
lose.
kidding me?
I can't listen to anything.
Dude, that's the way you're going to fall asleep and hit a tree.
No, I won't fall asleep. I'll be fine. The sleeping's not the issue. It's more of the...
You're a psycho. If you can drive 2 hours in the middle of the night.
I think I'll probably eventually put something on, but after tough losses, like walking back on Tuesday night back to the hotel, I don't want to listen to anything. I don't want to be a part of any of that. I just want to sit there and sulk.
Ben, feel free to join if you want. Meat Sauce left. He meat sauced it. Just left. Didn't want to help.
What's he got going on?
I don't know. He said he's got stuff going on.
You think he just wants to take a nap?
100%.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Zach, for sticking around.
Yeah. Good to be here. Thanks to Corey for sticking around.
Thank you, Zach. What a great job you do on this station, by the way.
You do a great job.
Thanks, man. That was really nice of you.
Ben.
Is this our version of Vox in the Box?
This is without the box.
We talked a little bit about hockey. We talked a little bit about LeBron and the Lakers. And then we were talking about cigarettes and station wagons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're playing the Fillmore on Sunday.
There is a song called Cigarettes and Patios. Have you ever heard that song?
No.
Cigarettes and Patios.
Mm-hmm. If you guys
country song?
It's not, actually. And if you guys could play music on this station again, we could play it, but you just have to look it up.
I don't think we're going to put this on the podcast, are we?
I don't think this is airable, let alone re-airable.
Oh, man.
Cigarettes on Patios by Baby Jake.
Who? Baby Jake.
Yeah.
Is that with the V or something? Oh, maybe that's a different person.
What are you talking about? Where's the V?
There's a Jake that has a V instead of a, yeah. No, this is just regular Baby Jake.
By the way, speaking of whether or not this is airable, I know I tell this story all the time on the morning show, but every Minnesota State Fair, at least once, my dad will call me after the Power Trip State Fair show and go, yeah, you guys were referencing stuff in the crowd that I couldn't see, and most of the jokes were inside jokes. They were visual. I didn't get it. And I go, I know.
Yeah, I know. Well, when you have 10,000 people that are staring at you at the state fair, I mean, you're going to do a show that's more geared towards them.
He's like, it was mostly unlistenable. I go, yeah, I know. He goes, I don't know. I just didn't think it was very good. I go, no, I agree. I know. I agree. And but then his comeback is always, well, doesn't that bother you? I go, it's 7 to 9 on a weeknight. That doesn't affect my ratings at all.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about the first 28 minutes. If this sucks and everybody just changed the station, tough break, PA. It's your time slot, not mine.
Well, this is an interesting business debate because we have this conversation at Twin Cities Live a few times lately as well, because we, once a month we go to a In Your Town series and we go to some bar in a city around the metro. And it's always a packed house and we always enjoy it. But it's like, how much do we gear this one particular show to just the people in the crowd? But we also have, lots of people at home watching. You're like, you don't want to alienate them as well. So, what's the balance?
Column A, column B, right? You got to play to both.
T-shirt gun.
T-shirt cannon.
Love that.
Can you imagine? We should get one of those for the fair.
Maybe we will. It sounds like they're all hooked up at Tria, so when we come back, it will be the end of this, and it'll be the start of that. Everybody cool with that?
It was a great half hour.
This was
radio.
awesome.
It was really
Thanks,
something.
guys.
Ben, are you sticking around? What time do you join? 10?
Well, no, I'm off today because he's there. I actually just can't. We have our tech guy sitting to my right, Zach. Having some troubles down in Studio X, so I was actually doing a hot lap around to try to find him, and now here he is, and now I think I can tap on his services.
Anytime, Ben.
Zach would be more than willing to let you tap on him. Box in the Box next.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? And welcome to the delay of game edition of Vox in the Box from Tria Rink here in St. Paul. I'm Paul Allen. Happy to be joined on site by the engineer, Jared Wells. Brett Blakemore produces, and the great Kevin Gorg from FanDuel Sports North is here to co-host the final segment of the first hour of 9 to noon. We have a lot coming up for you today. Congratulations to the Timberwolves and their victory last night, closing out the Los Angeles Lakers. We have a montage coming up for that with Parker Fox about 45 minutes from now, and on we go. Kevin Gorg can be found via the X Machine at Gorgomatic21. Please follow him if you are so inclined. The great Eddie Olczyk, who does Kentucky Derby and horse racing work for the NBC family, and also is an elite hockey mind. He's going to be joining us within 5 minutes. And Kevin, if we were to montage for tonight and the Minnesota Wild and the Las Vegas Golden Knights, it would be Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. What do you think about tonight, just off the cuff? And good morning.
Good morning, PA. Yeah, I think, for Minnesota, they've got to put Game 5 behind them. They've got to put the emotional swings in that game, the heartbreak that was the Ryan Hartman go-ahead goal being waved off on the right call, by the way. And, you move forward. It's every game in this series has been nip and tuck. Every game has been intense. It's been down to the wire. You draw off of that. You draw off the fact that, you got Aiden Hill on the ropes. Like, this is a goaltender that does not look right in that net for Vegas. I respect the cup cred, and he's a big, talented guy, but listen, Minnesota can get to this guy, and so you rely on some of that. You rely on the fact that this team was playing win-or-in hockey in the final month. There are a couple games I point to at Vancouver and late against Anaheim at home where they had to come from behind in both just to win to get into the playoffs. So there's a lot to like about this group. They've overachieved all year. They were not projected to be a playoff team. 19 of 20 analysts, including guys like Mark Messier on the ESPN website, picked Vegas to win this series. The Golden Knights have been heavily favored in every game, and they're minus 170 tonight, and here we are. If you're a fan of the Wild, embrace this. You're an underdog, and the team has overachieved all year long, and you've got your best players playing their best hockey. As long as Kaprizov and Boldy are out there, Minnesota has a chance against anybody right now.
The coach of the Minnesota Wild, John Hines, will be nice enough to join 9 to noon after the optional morning skate, which begins at 10:30. So Hinesy will join us here for Vox in the Box about 11:10. And off what you just said before Edzo joins, I'm going to start it with Hinesy. Why wouldn't you have to win tonight? there's been adversity all season, and all season you guys have responded well. What do you think about tonight? So that perseverance piece is kind of a common thread with this team. It has been with this team the entire season. Now, Eddie Olczyk, I believe that was a swoosh. Eddie Olczyk, who is a noted hockey mind and elite pick 6 player. Yes, that Edzo joins 9 to noon now with yours truly. We'll get him here momentarily. And Kevin Gorg, he's in Louisville, Kentucky for the Kentucky Derby. Well, okay, where would you rather be? Louisville on a Thursday or at XL Energy Center tonight?
I'd rather be in St. Paul tonight, but if I could be in Louisville for that Derby on Saturday afternoon, I would take that too.
Mm-hmm. You like Sovereignty in the Derby?
I like him a lot. Yeah, I locked in him in the futures market, so I've got a little better price than he'll likely be come Saturday. He's bred to run all day. I'm a huge Bill Mott fan. His trainer is a Hall of Famer. He's a closer in a race that I think is really going to be hot early. I can't wait to get Edzo's opinion on the pace of this race. I've got 5 or 6 different horses that want to go real fast early, and I think that's going to set it up for somebody from behind. I respect Journalism, the favorite. Journalism, to me, is absolutely the horse to beat. 50% chance of rain. His daddy was Curlin. He won that Breeders' Cup Classic in a monsoon at Monmouth Park. So I respect the favorite, but I think Sovereignty is going to be the one that's running best last and gets the money.
9 to noon today will include the likes of John Hines at about 11:10. Off the Timberwolves round 1 clinching victory last night. We're going to run a bunch of talkbacks beginning at about 11:25 or 11:30. But now, noted hockey mind and elite pick 6 player, Eddie Olczyk. He joins us. It's our beloved Edzo. He's in Louisville, Kentucky for the Kentucky Derby, which takes off about 6 o'clock Saturday. And watch and wager and be a part of history at Canterbury Park. Learn more at CanterburyPark.com. Edzo, it's Paul Allen and KG. How have you been?
Hey, what's up, PA? Kev, nice to be with you guys. And an unbelievable time of year, right? National Hockey League playoffs, the Kentucky Derby, pucks and ponies. Moonlighting for NBC. This will be my 11th Derby as one of the 11th Derby as one of the handicappers for NBC. And then if there's a Game 7 in Winnipeg on Sunday night, I will find my way from Louisville to the Peg and see the Blues and Jets. Now I don't know if the Jets can win a game on the road here in this series, but I got a nice busy weekend, so it's always great to be on with you guys. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, bless you, Eddie. And I'm tripping here, and I apologize for this. So if you do that hockey game, Game 7, that's TNT, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Eddie does great work for TNT. KG?
Well, we always talk weather come this time of year at the Derby.
Yeah.
And I know looking at the forecast, it looks like it's kind of a coin flip for Friday and Saturday. How much have you factored in the weather? And as you kind of settle in down there, what are you expecting?
Yeah, well, Kev, it's... I mean, look, at 2 days ago, it looked like we were going to be clean and clear for the Derby. Now it looks like we could get some moisture both Friday for the Phillies and then obviously on Saturday for the Derby. So I think you have to take that into consideration. And where before you guys came to me, I heard you talking about how, I think we saw each other for when I was in town with TNT for the Wild and Golden Knights there for Game 3. We talked about the race quickly, and we see it the same way. I think there is a boatload of speed in this race. Some people think Rodriguez is faster than East Avenue. I think they're both pretty darn quick, and then you got to worry about, the 2 Baffert horses that have some speed. You got the Lucas horse that, by the way, if it happens to be on a off-track Derby time on Saturday, D. Wayne Lucas, horses American Promise number 5. He went wire to wire in the slop a bunch of races ago, so he certainly is proven on that, but he's going to want to be close to the lead. So, yeah, taking the weather into consideration, absolutely. But I'm all in on Journalism. I heard you touch on him, Kev. I just think he breathes a little bit different air than these other horses. I mean, he's run out in California. He's running back-to-back 5-horse fields. I know everybody wants to knock that, but you only can play the hand that's dealt. And I just think that he takes 2 strides for everybody's 1. And if everybody remembers, and you guys will, the tremendous horse for Bob Baffert a couple of years ago, a horse called Arrowgate, where he just seemed to be able to, cover ground and be able to, stop a little bit, but then regain his momentum like a freight train. And he would just take 2 steps for everybody else's 1. And I think Journalism is an outstanding horse. Now, going 1.25 miles, in front of 170,000 people, different track, 19 opponents. Look at the unknown, and we know in horse racing, you just never know what happens. But I just think it's him and everybody else. And look, if you can get 3-1, I think you should be running to the window. I think that's a super fair value for a horse that I think is very, very special, and we'll see if he can prove it on Saturday.
And Eddie, with journalism, winner of the Santa Anita Derby, winner of 4 consecutive races. From a speed figure standpoint, and like when you get into the deep analytics of horse racing, I mean, yes, he's a stick out. There's no doubt about it. But when you say that he's been facing nothing but 5-horse fields, and that's the hand he's been dealt. Yeah, while I agree with that for sure, he's gonna hook 19 others on Saturday, and better than anybody, man. If you make one mistake at the wrong time early in the Kentucky Derby, the whole thing is over. So I just think that's more of a concern than maybe some people do.
Sure. Yeah. I look at it. I mean, there's 19 other horses that could make a mistake too, and then all of a sudden the playing field is even. Now we know that isn't going to happen, but I mean, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I mean, it does become. You do need to get a trip. You need a lot of luck to win the Kentucky Derby. I mean, we've seen some great horses run in the Kentucky Derby, and they haven't hit the board. That's just the reality of it. But I look at the field and I look at the competition. One thing I do want to say is that scratch time for vet scratches and health reasons and stuff is tomorrow at 9 a.m. local time. The horse on the also eligible is the number 21 horse, Baeza. Baeza ran in the same race as Journalism in the Santa Anita Derby and only got beat 3/4 of a length and ran really well for a relatively inexperienced horse. I believe that Baeza somehow, I hope the other 20 horses are all healthy and they stay clean and they run. But if somebody scratches and Baeza draws into the body of the field, the number 21 horse, I believe, has a heck of a chance to be maybe the 3rd or 4th betting favorite. And I think I am going to use the 21 if he gets into the race. So something to keep an eye on here in between now and tomorrow morning.
I'm with you on Baeza. I will say one thing about Journalism. His second career start, he faced a 10-horse field at Del Mar. They went fast early. He sat off it and won like a good thing. The number of horses he's faced doesn't worry me. The 20-horse field in Rispoli does. He's a guy that hasn't won in a race like this, but Journalism is the horse to beat. The wild card for me, Edzone, I love your opinion after what we saw last year with Forever Young. The horse in from Japan ran a huge race, was in that 3-horse photo with Mystic Dan.
Yeah.
What do we do with Luxor Cafe?
I guess until these horses that come from Japan or overseas, whether they're running in Japan or Maidan or wherever it might be, Kev, until they win, I can't. I'm going to hit an all button somewhere because that's what I do, and my Twin Spires app is going to get worn out on Saturday. I'll promise you that. Until they win. I can't use in my top 3. I mean, that's just the reality of it. So, if they win, then I'm one of them. And look at some point, somebody's going to come over here and have that day where, somebody else doesn't, and they're going to find a way. But, it is so difficult. Obviously the travel, different type of track, just the surroundings. It's like that for anybody. Look at it. Think about just travel in general for us as human beings. It gets a little exhausting, and horses, the last time I checked, besides, watching Mr. Ed on TV, I don't know any horses that can tell a trainer, hey, I'm not feeling great. So, why don't you just leave me in the barn today? So, but until they beat me, I can't use them, Kev.
And I respect that. Now, like my top 3, for what it's worth, are Luxor Cafe, Journalism, and East Avenue. The way East Avenue fought back off that little layoff in the bluegrass really, really was impressive to me.
Well, let me ask you. Do you not think that they are going to go overly quick? And at some point, the anchor is going to get thrown out on probably 4 or 5 of those speed horses.
Yes.
And then the closers are gonna be able to go by them.
Yes, I mean they generally the riders generally go out of body and go too fast in the Kentucky Derby because they're all wound up and excited. So that yes, I do believe that will happen. But for me, I'm going to have a win bet on Luxor Cafe, and here's why.
Sure.
The horse is 3 for 4 on wet tracks. Now, granted, we come from Japan, but let's not forget what the Japanese are doing. Basically, every single year, Dubai World Cup Day. I mean, they're just coming in there and dominating horses from all over the world. But here's the sneaky, interesting thing, I think, Eddie, and tell me what you think with number 7, Luxor Cafe. When he won his last race, all right, now granted, it's in Japan, but the three of the horses he beat went to the UAE Derby on Dubai World Cup Day, and they ran 1, 2, 3. So he comes out of a super, super live race. He races against nothing but big 14, 15, 17 horse fields. I don't know what his odds are going to be, but yeah, I think he's kind of juicy here.
Understood. Look, understood and noted. Stylistically, where is he going to be? Where is he going to be placed? Kickback, all those type of things. And again, look at, is he going to move up on people's radar here with the track? If indeed, look at, we know how the weather is. I mean, hopefully it blows through and the track isn't affected, but you certainly have to take that into consideration. And I see your argument and it's documented, but for me, it just, and I know Forever Young ran a huge race last year, and look at some point, like I said earlier, it's going to happen. Like it's going to. It's inevitable, you would think, but at least until this point, you've had some major disappointments. I mean, everybody last year at the Breeders' Cup, and I was working the Breeders' Cup for NBC. I mean, last year, there were 4 or 5 races where, all the talk was, the Japanese horses and what have you. And last year they had a really, really tough year. The year before, was a very good year at the Breeders' Cup. So at some point they're going to knock the door down, and maybe it is Saturday. But for me, I'm going to be on the 8 journalism, the 14 Tistastic, the 17 Sandman, and then if the 21 gets in, as I said earlier, I think you automatically have to use the 21 Baeza.
Yeah, I for sure am going to have journalism over Luxor Cafe over all in a trifecta, and then I'm going to reverse that, and then I'm going to put the all in the second. And so if those 2 horses hit the top 3, it's not going to be like a Hollywood Park Edzo pick 6, but still it'll be a little walking around money for 2025. Kevin?
I've got to tie hockey into our horse racing talk here. D. Wayne Lucas last year won the Preakness with Seize the Gray. He's approaching 90 years old. He's got the 5-horse American Promise, who had that big run on a muddy track this year. Marc-Andre Fleury, a guy near and dear to all of our hearts, but especially you, Edzo, with your time in Pittsburgh. Is there any stage that's too big for the Flower? I watch Game 5 and see our starting goalie Gustafson leave the game with an illness, and here comes Marc-Andre Fleury at age 40, cold off the bench, and the way he's able to go out there and compete, Edzo, I got to tell you, I know down the road when I'm retired and I look back at my time here, almost 20 years working with the Minnesota Wild, I am going to treasure the time I had with Marc-Andre Fleury. You know him as well as anybody. Does it surprise you this guy is still able to go out there and compete at this level?
No, because of the passion and the respect that he has for the game, and he loves his teammates. He loves his team. I was lucky enough to share the night with him when he got his first NHL win against the Detroit Red Wings back in 2003, and that happened to be my first coaching win in my tenure as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And
wow.
I got a chance to walk in with I call him the kid. I know everybody calls him the Flower, but I knew him as the kid when he came into Pittsburgh. And I walked in with the kid the other night when I was in town to do Game 3. And, we just kind of reminisced a little bit. And right away, he said, and we beat Dominic Hasek that night,
I didn't think about that.
It's still, he remembers those days. And I think the greatest compliment that I could give him, and look at it, it's about respect, is he is the same young man back when he was 18 years old and came in as a member of the Pittsburgh Penguins as he is today, a father, a husband, a future Hall of Famer. just so lucky to have been a part of his life, from the coaching aspect of it, but just to follow his career and to know him and to watch him as a broadcaster. We need to bottle that up and sell it, and hopefully future hockey players, whether they're in the league or come down the pipe here, can take some of what he has brought both on and off the ice. But no, it doesn't surprise me to see, how he has handled, look at the twilight of his career. Let's just call it what it is. He has been amazing. Billy G picking him up there. I think he has done so much for the franchise, both on and off the ice. And he's a winner. He always will be. And I wish him well in his future endeavors.
Amen. And last one here, Edzo. We have Wild and Vegas Golden Knights at XL Energy Center tonight. The favored Knights, favored in the series and favored tonight. They're big favorites tonight too, which is a little surprising. But they lead 3-2. Now, you know better than us. The Wild have come off 2 overtime losses. Both have been very emotional. One at home, one on Tuesday night. Tuesday night was the meat grinder of all meat grinders. So, like, what should we be looking for early tonight from the Wild? Because, quite honestly, they were shell-shocked after they lost Game 5.
Yeah. Well, look, I think John Hines is obviously a terrific coach, and I mean he will have his team prepped and what have you. I think it's about staying disciplined. Let's not give them any freebies. Their big boys have started going here. But it's being even or ahead after the first period. I think that has got to be the goal. Let's just be even or ahead after the first period, and then we're going to regroup, and then we're going to do it all again in the second period. I mean, it's been a hell of a series. It really is. And look, the series could easily be 3-2 in favor of the Wild. That's just the reality of it. Vegas made some adjustments later in Game 3, which I thought was too late. And then they made some pretty hefty decisions when it came to Game 4. Looks on the power play personnel, getting Stone and Eichel split up. That's made a difference, I believe, in this series. So now it is about the volley. The ball is in the court of the Minnesota Wild, and look at the games have been tight. They have been close. You can't get any closer. And so for me, I think it's just it might be cachet, and you hear all the terms, but I think being even or ahead after the first period and then regroup from there. So look at would I be shocked after doing Game 3 that when I saw that, I'm like, well, this thing's got a chance to go the distance. Like I think this chance, and look at they got home ice, and why not win in Game 6 and then give yourself every opportunity to go back to Vegas and win in Game 7 and move on. So. We'll see how it all plays out.
We'll be watching you on TV all weekend. Thank you very much for the time, my brother, and best of luck with journalism in the Derby, okay?
Okay, guys. Great luck, and always great to chat with you guys. Thanks for
Appreciate
having
me.
Thanks,
You're the best, man. Eddie Olczyk, the best. Absolute best.
He is so good at what he does.
Hockey and horses, that's cool.
I love him.
Joe Smith from The Athletic about within the next 10 minutes. Let's close like this with KG at Gorgomatic21. The shell-shocked compound adjective has been used quite a bit by me the last couple of days with the Wild in Game 5. And, okay, with the Nyquist offside and with whatever happened at the end of the game, whether it's Bogosian you want to hammer on, Rossi, Merrill, whatever, I heard a lot of it yesterday. With that being proverbial water under the bridge now, because it has to be, the shell-shocked part of the equation is what genuinely concerns me tonight. And you're dramatically closer to this bit than I am, but it's predicated off that interview you did with Brock Faber after losing Game 5. And I have all your albums, man. So I watch a lot of these interviews. Shirtless guy, Bogosian the other night didn't say Gorgie. It offended me.
Oh, God.
I have all your albums. I can't recall seeing an athlete at any time as shell-shocked as that young man who's well-spoken. He had trouble spitting out sentences. He was sad. He was mad. And it was, granted, 10, 15 minutes after the game, and it's really cool you get to do that. But you know what I'm saying here, right? He was shell-shocked.
Yeah, Brock was pretty down, and I really do appreciate Aaron Sickman and his crew getting us the opportunity to have that hometown broadcast. We love doing, having the chance to get to know Brock these last couple of years. I have so much respect for how much he cares about his team, the passion he has for the game, and I think that came out in that couple of minutes we got to chat with Brock. And I think the time that you get in between games is helpful after a loss like that. I think that flight home yesterday, I'll tell you, was as quiet and somber as a flight gets. It was all business. But I draw on what this team has shown me all year long. This is a team that started the year with basically a month-long road trip. With the pressure of having missed the playoffs the year before, they got off to that great start. They were 18-4-4 at the Christmas break. Kaprizov was up for the MVP, rightfully so, and then the injury bug went bananas, and they lost Kaprizov for half a year. They lost Eck for nearly half a season. They lost Brodin. They lost Spurgeon. They lost Faber. And they probably shouldn't even made the playoffs, but this is a resilient bunch that cares tremendously, and I rely on that tonight, that this team, backed into a corner, has been there before and has had success before, and I think they can again. Vegas is a hell of a good hockey team, and they're rightfully favored, but I would expect Minnesota to play one of their best games of the season tonight, and I can't wait to watch.
Appreciate you, and love you, bud, and appreciate the flexibility today, too. Thanks for staying patient, and we'll watch you on TV tonight, okay?
It's going to be awesome.
Kevin Gorg at Gorgomatic 2-1. Joe Smith from The Athletic joins around the corner. Parker Fox about 15 minutes after that. That's when we get into the Timberwolves victory last night, and mix in some hockey with that, too. And that last segment you heard was our marathon segment provided by Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com. You're listening to Vox in the Box from St. Paul on KFAN.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.